So this is a film I've been meaning to watch for the last 4 years. It has been on my list, and I've just been wanting to get to it, but I needed to be in the right zone at the right time. Because I am a sucker for dramas and sadness, but I need to be in the right zone to watch it and know what I'm going to be expecting. I was not expecting this. This was literally an amazing piece of work. I know this was directed by, I'm going to try to pronounce it correctly, but I know it's not going to be. Shinichiro Yoshijima. And he's also done a couple other works as a director and storyboard person for such things as My Dress Up Darling and for some reason the X-Men cartoon and Wonder Egg Priority. This man's got a pretty good resume. I know he's done a little work on, I want to say High School of the Dead, Hunter x Hunter as well. But man, did this get knocked out of the park. So pretty much the basic premise that you're going to get along with this story is we have two really main characters, and the names don't necessarily mean much in the beginning because we don't get them talking about their names very often. But you got your female, who is a Sakura, and then you have the male, who is a Haruki, and they do such a good job with the direction and the story of this. And it starts out with those two in a library talking to each other, and her pretty much saying back in the day, they used to think that if you have a bad organ, they would feed you that organ in hopes that it would make you feel better. And she also tells us that she is dying. Whether you take it seriously or not, going into this, you probably know what's going to happen. But they set you up right from the beginning knowing that she's going to die. So that's not a surprise within the first 5 minutes of this movie starting. And from there, we pretty much get to see them two develop along the way. Sakura is, I wouldn't say extremely popular, but she's a pretty popular girl who has a few friends. The only notable friend that we get to meet in this series really is Karoko. And we come to find out they've been friends for a long time, and she's very defensive of her friend, which is understandable because if you're a great friend, that's what you do. And we've got our other main protagonist, Haruki, and he's this kind of bookworm guy, not really reaching out for friends, and life just brought them together at the hospital, which is pretty much the scene right afterwards because he has to get his staples removed from his appendix, I believe the surgery was, and she's getting diagnosed with her pancreas failure and blood disease, I'm assuming. And from there, she pretty much makes him, from the beginning, promise that she's gonna do things with him until the day she dies. The character development that we reach throughout this series for Haruki and Sakura is just outstanding. Even though it's it's about an hour 50-minute film, there is an after credit scene, and through the whole thing, they're both growing and building off of each other. It's not just a one-sided thing. One's learning something from one of them, the other one's learning something from the other. And the way that they do it is just so well done. I am a huge fan of Makia as a anime film. And anime films to me are one of those genres of, or not genres, I guess, mediums of film work that I feel like, if done right, can almost be better than a series, considering the budgets, the staff they can put onto it, the close up, and if you're on a time crunch, those are some things to keep in mind. Yoshijima did so well. It was just outstanding. I I don't know many other series that just hit me like a ton of bricks like this. And I know a lot of people I know this is very highly appraised, so I'm not going to pretend to say that it's, underrated or anything like that, because it has received all of the the recognition that it does deserve. But right from the beginning, even the first few first few shadings and like scenes, you can tell the smoothness of the CGI that they add onto it, and the details, like just something as basic as like for instance, in a scene where he picks her up, her bangs are swaying to the side as he walks with her away, and the color work is outstanding. They do such a fantastic job. The lights pop, the darks, they just complement everything in this story with the soundtrack that is just unbelievably well done. The songs in here are songs that I'm going to be even adding to like my Spotify playlist. Like the ending song, Shunkashuto, which I also probably butchered to death, was like such a good atmospheric tone once we got to that part of the movie, and it really drove it home for you. There's so many things to this movie that I could just say that have probably been said 100 times, and I don't want to get into spoilers for this one, because I'll be honest with you, this is one that I feel like you have to watch for yourself, because I would just butcher it and not do it enough justice. Those 2 hours we get to spend with all these characters, it just feels so good. You almost feel as if you're in that little tiny clique that they have together. And I know I say all of the characters, because realistically we only have 2.5. I'll count Karoko in there as well, but 2.5 like real main characters. And of course we get a few, one that's kind of a friend that kind of develops, an ex-boyfriend, and the moms, and the Haruki's dad shows up for like 2 seconds, but I digress. It's just something that I feel like is essential for your anime library to have. I know we've got your lie and all of those ones that go along with this type of trope, but I think this one's the king. This one takes the cake for me, and I honestly will probably be rewatching it next week just to get a second watch and bond with it again. And I can't say, there's tons of movies I could say that for, but to be wanting to rewatch it even right now after just watching it is a feat that I don't say to many films. And I give this one the crown. It's just so fantastic. I gave this one a 10 out of 10 on Mal, and I only have 8 other ones, and one of them's a film. So for this one to add it to the king shit list is mind-blowing to me, and I'm really sad that I waited 4 years to watch it. So whatever you're doing right now, I highly recommend stopping it, giving this movie a watch, and embracing the beauty of the art and the music and the story, and just getting enwrapped in it. And you know what? Even the actual not even the death itself, but the theme that goes along with it of just, you can believe in fate, or you can believe whatever you want to believe, but just the things that you do that add up to the things that happen later is just such a hard driving message, and you just never know what's gonna come. So every day's a gift, and enjoy that, because you just never know when it's going to end. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please like this video, and I thank you for sticking around this long. It means a lot to me. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for this. So until the next time, this has been Squids, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.